Hey, this is Niels on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver and some platinum. Be kind, helpful, and grateful because it's better than being a jerk. This is awesome, awesome stuff. Uh, there is a company in Australia looking to acquire enough platinum projects throughout the world to become the world leader in platinum production. It's a Clean Air Metals Inc. For those of you that know me, I love platinum. So of course I'm going to bring you this. They're acquiring a lot of things. They're going to be acquiring, or actually, I think Impala acquired the Montana platinum mine. It's a placer mine. It's like 14,000 ounces a year. But anyhow, let's read the story and see what it has to say here. Let's see. Metals for the Clean Air Revolution. Clean Air Metals, Canadian-based platinum and palladium exploration company, focuses on advancing its flagship Thunder Bay North critical metals project located in Thunder Bay region of Ontario. Dun dun dun. Focused on sustainable development of platinum group metals, copper, and nickel. Interesting. Now we go to this. This is even more interesting. This is like the CEO dude. This guy here is like the CEO dude. This came out about 12 minutes ago from Mining Coma. I've been following them. I was like their 12th follower. They've got 356 subscribers right now. This dude here, of course, has cleaner. Listen to what he has to say.
Of critical metals, including platinum and palladium, which interestingly enough have a 1-to-1 ratio. Why is this significant, Jim?
Yeah, so platinum, palladium, copper, and nickel, and actually at today's prices, platinum, palladium, copper are almost the same revenue source. I think the importance here is that platinum and palladium are incredibly rare primary mining metals outside of Africa and especially South Africa, and I think that's the key. There are only two known to me primary palladium mines in the world. One was my old stomping grounds, which is just north of this deposit. Part of the reason I got recruited into, I was CEO of North American Palladium when it got sold to Impala Platinum. And that's one. And
Impala Platinum is the second largest platinum mining company in the world, based in South Africa, just to let you know.
And the other one is Stillwater in Montana, in USA, and that is now owned by Sibanye. So the South Africans several years ago came into Canada and picked up these platinum palladium resources. Platinum's a key story here because it is very rare. It's even rarer than palladium. And the only primary mines in the world are in South Africa. So we have the chance of being the only primary platinum mine in the world. If we get this thing built, and I think we're waiting on quite a significant price uptake on the metal.
Speaking of significance, the company announced the down plunge potential of the escape deposit. What opportunities might this open up?
Yeah, so look, Northern Ontario, the South African deposits are reef deposits. Lake sediment settles out and creates the deposits that they mine today in South Africa. The Canadian deposits are sulfide magmatic intrusion. That means hot metal injected from depth, and that is generally the story in the Canadian mining market, certainly in Northern Ontario, where this deposit is. And so they all come from depth. I'm in the Sudbury Basin today, historical, huge mining district for nickel, copper, and lots of precious metals as byproducts. And the average mining depth today is probably approaching 2,000 meters here in the Sudbury Basin. So these things come from depth. These two deposits have basically only been explored down to 500 meters. And I think it's the founding companies were looking more initially at open pit, and actually the first study ever done was as an open pit. And so they really didn't concentrate on going deeper. Some of these deposits, when they get into a big embayment and the flows of this magma slow down, that's when you get the heavier metal settling out. So there's huge potential below 500 meters, and we've only just started planning that exploration program today.
It was a tough market for some metals last year, Jim. Nothing you haven't seen before. You facilitated the $1 billion sale of North American Palladium in 2019. How confident are you in the quality of Thunder Bay and the market fundamentals of the suite of commodities it's enriched with?
Yeah, so great question. Look, we've done a couple of rounds of studies on this deposit. We had this historical database. Of course, we've added over 100,000 meters of drill hole, but historically, there's significantly more was done. All of that has actually gone through two processes of reviews with qualified geologists, QPs. We've published an updated resource in May of this year. So the resource itself, very solid, very well drilled, much of it at 25 meter centers. So incredibly well drilled deposit, great confidence in what we have in the ground. I think on the other side, on the market side, the story of copper and nickel, I think, is well known as one of these green energy things. If we're going to electrify everything in the world, copper obviously has a huge market. Palladium and platinum, less understood. Palladium has always played a big role in car emissions, catalytic converters. The auto market has actually come off by 25% since COVID started, and it hasn't rebounded. And that's actually more of the reason that the palladium prices come down than even electric cars, although electric cars have taken a little bite of that market. The big story, I think, is in the future of platinum, which is very, very tightly tied to the whole green hydrogen story. Producing green hydrogen to solve the problems of heavy industry, steel industry, cement, heavy transportation, planes. Hydrogen is a big part of that story. Producing green hydrogen, the anode and cathode, when you run electricity through water, are coated with platinum. It improves the efficiency of the process, and it's very resistant to corrosion. And then, of course, in fuel cells, that primary median down the middle is also very heavy in platinum. So there's a huge potential market coming for platinum. Metal markets have come off because of global commodity issues, global economy issues. I think we see a super cycle in metals coming, and it's going to be a hard wall to hit when that happens. So we're pretty bullish on the suite of metals, in particular platinum.
Could Clean Air's project be the next primary producing palladium platinum operation? And what work will the company need to undertake to help make that a reality?
Well, we talked about the down plunge exploration. We've got some really good geophysical targets. We're refining that now. We expect to be drilling later this year on those two targets, the geophysical targets. So that's a huge part of it. We're going to continue some of the technical studies. We've done 2 rounds of metallurgy. It's very near the surface. So we're pretty comfortable. We've got a good deposit. I think we're just going to add some scale to it. We sit at about 14 million tons today. About 2.4 million, equivalent ounces of platinum on an equivalence basis. So that's part of the story. The other part of the story is throughout northwestern Ontario, and which is a massive area, several hundred kilometers by several hundred kilometers, huge number of platinum, palladium, nickel, copper type showings. And many of those are distressed. There's opportunity in that market now. We're going to leverage some of our expertise to see if we can pick up some other somewhat distressed assets that don't have the technical or financial resources to move forward, and combine that with the story around Thunder Bay North as our cornerstone. So pretty active area and a pretty interesting time. We think
Man. Again, for you people that know me, people call me the platinum guru. I love platinum. I knew there was more platinum on this planet than just in South Africa. This adds to the geopolitical things I'm seeing with going on with platinum. Canada is going to be the new platinum producer. Probably it'll take them, probably an enhanced schedule and drilling 5 years, 7 years, and they're pulling the stuff out of the ground. You heard him say an increased price of platinum has to occur. I did a video about a year ago on this guy's actually Australian, I believe. But I did a video on the Australian mining industry, and I knew something was going on, but I never anticipated that Ontario would be where the big hits for palladium is coming from that will outproduce South Africa according to their studies. that this Clean Air Metals Inc. has done. Very exciting for platinum, very exciting for America. Sorry, bricks. Jake's Custom Parts. I hate it for bricks, brah. America is fixing to take the platinum market and the palladium market out from underneath their little Rudy Tooty Tooties. You guys have a good one.